So transcription is one of the best ways of developing musical skill. I'm going to reveal how to do it on this lovely old blues song. It's Martin from the Washboard Resonators. I've got a blank page and we're going to fill this with a song. We're going to work it out together. This is a song I've wanted to play for about 25 years. It's That's No Way to Get Along by the Reverend Robert Wilkins. It's from September 1929. And if you're not sure about how to transcribe, this should illuminate it for you. It might be a slower way of learning songs, but I think pound for pound, minute for minute, you get so much more. And I've got 7 points to show you exactly why that is the case. So number one, if you're learning a new song and you're going to transcribe it, I think the best thing you can do is just listen, listen, listen. Listen to it in the car, listen to it when you're cooking, listen to it when you're in the bath. I've got my computer. I'm going to use YouTube, which has like a feature that you can slow down videos, but it keeps the pitch. So the first thing we need to figure out is just the very, very essence, the key center of the song. Now, when you're playing this old traditional blues stuff, there's usually various tunings. Now, I'm pretty certain this is like an open D tuning. He's playing slide and the bass figure sounds like the sort of figures you get out of open D. Experience sort of tells me that. If I play the track, make it loud, I want to just figure out what key we're in, basically. And you can just do that to start off. It's not a million miles away, is it? That's an open E. I just go down till I can find where it sounds in tune. That sounds like it's resonating with the track, but it's not right. Ah, there we go, D sharp. It's like D sharp, but D sharp with a little bit sharper. If I play it, and yeah, slightly sharp. That's no way for me to get along, and that resolves back. So what I just heard there, I mean, literally, honest to goodness, I have not looked at this track at all. I've heard it a load. What I heard then, I found that it's like D sharp and sharp a little bit. Oh. So he might have just tuned his guitar roughly to ear. What I heard then was D sharp, and I also heard that it goes down, 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 down. It kind of goes down, then it rises back up and goes back to that sort of tonic. So we can hear that that's got that motif. That's no way for me to get along. Okay, so we've just figured out on a standard tune guitar that's that. I love that little lick. We'll figure that out. I think it's the 5 chord. Ooh. I'm a little bit confused by it because when it does that chord change, it sounds like it goes. I think what's throwing it is that there's a C in the bass of probably a G chord, which is the 5 chord. I'm going to get this. This guitar, which I love. I'm going to get it into tune, into open D. I'm in open D now with capo on fret 1, which is getting me to like D sharp. So what I'm going to do, this is going to sound pretty weird now. I'm going to put the track back and I'm going to just try and get the guitar perfectly tuned with the track so every lick I work out sounds right. Okay, so I've tuned it. Do you hear how the guitar just resonates with the track now? So we're going to get down to just fleshing out the main components instrumentally now. Why did I think it was open D? Well, experience will teach you that. If you've learned a bunch of songs in different tunings, you can sort of hear the patterns. But I could also hear this octave bass. Well, open D has these 2 D strings that you use to pick. I'm just going to go along with it and just flesh it out and feel, just get even my mind into ways changing. I'm just playing along with finger picking. Now it goes to the 4 chord. Here it comes. It goes, and now that is the way you play a 4 chord in open D. Timing's interesting. Now I'm going to go to the video, and there's this little thing in settings where you can change the playback speed. I'm going to put it to half playback speed. So you'll hear that it's still in pitch, but it's completely slowed down. It sounds a bit robotic, but this is how you kind of figure out the playing. So he was doing that, there's that little high lick. So I'm just trying to figure out that high lick. And this is why transcribing can be good, and pound for pound, minute for minute, you get a lot out of it. We've got it slowed down. I can hear that high lick. I'm pretty sure it's based around. So you've got to kind of sing it. And this is great because you're getting interval training. You're kind of hearing what the difference between the notes are. You're slowing it down. You're really trying to listen. So now you're getting singing practice because you're trying to sing out the part. And sometimes when you're doing this, you know, you'll be like, you'll hear a note and you'll pause it and you just sing. So you're like, play, pause. You're trying to sing to what's on there. Until you find where it is on the guitar. You've got to keep the notes straight. So it really helps you singing. Really kind of joins those synapses for hearing music. Because a lot of blues guitar players, let's be honest, they're usually okay guitar players and terrible singers. I'm working on singing a lot more now, and it's, you know, transcribing really helps. I'm hearing him go low sometimes. So when he does that climb up, I don't know if you can hear it, but you hear like a high note on the top. I think it's like part of a picking pattern. The structure is it kind of goes, when he sings, then he does one of those licks in between. I missed it. Because I'm trying to do a video. So he goes to the 4 chord, then he goes, and there's 2 of those 4 chord sections. And that's no way for me to get along. It just stays rocking. Now, what I might do now is just keep listening a little bit for the details now. I'm going to put the guitar down, have a listen. Then what we're going to do now is start writing it out and looking at the fine detail. It's getting late now, it's after 11 o'clock, and I might sort of just do a little bit more, and then we'll look at it tomorrow. Like, maybe you're good at remembering words. I didn't really sing till I was 30, and I really struggle to learn words, so I do everything in my power to like try and remember words. I do find that listening to the song, verse by verse, writing it out, makes me really conscious of the words, and makes it quicker to learn them. So what I'm going to do now is go back to the beginning. Killer feel. I'm going home. Friend, sit down. Now, one of the things I do is I write this out in capitals. And the reason for that is that sometimes you start learning a song. Because the point of all this for me is I'm a professional musician. I want to do this on a gig with the Washboard Resonators. Do come and see us, join the mailing list, go to the description box below, there's a link, like, subscribe and comment, it really helps us, you know, all that stuff. But so yeah, you go to the gig, and sometimes, you know, you're still learning the song, you want to try it on the gig. Sometimes we do background gigs, so that's a great time to try new material. So if I write it in capitals and I put it on the floor, I try and do the song. If I'm just suddenly, oh, I can't remember the next verse, you can see it from a distance. It's a bit of a cheat. Okay then, I've got some verses written down. I've just been playing through it, trying to play through it for like the first time. Bear in mind, I'm only about 25 minutes in here since we started filming. I'm trying to sing along with it now, and I'm not sure I'm getting the melody right, or the phrasing right, or where the guitar licks go in relation. Now, it's getting a bit late, and I'm going to get to that first verse. I'm just going to try and take it almost line by line, and hear the phrasing of the vocals, hear the melody, maybe work out the melody. I'm going home. I think that's right. Going home. Open strings. I'm going home. So this is where I think you can really help with the singing, like you can really learn the singing. But listen to how he... Friends sit down, friends sit down. I think it's like 4 notes. I'm going to maybe try and work out exactly what he's doing vocally. I love this guy's like delivery and voice. From downtown, mama. He's got so much warmth in his delivery. You can tell, you know, he was a reverend. Oh, mama. And he does the same. And he goes up to that note again. Ah, I think I've written the words down. Right then, I'm going to give it a bit of a rest now. It's late. So, you know, we've got the form, the basic ideas. We've figured out a lot there. Over the next sort of day or two, we're just going to put the whole thing together. And then I'll show you how you learn it, and we'll look at a bit of an arrangement. Okay, it's the next day. I've kind of gone back on what I figured out last night. I actually think that lick, when he's singing, and he does like a lick between the vocals, I actually think now it might be a slide. And instead of playing up from this position, he's actually... That seems the easiest way to get it, having slowed it down and listened again with fresh ears today. I'm just going through each verse, getting each line, each bit of singing and the phrasing correct to the guitar. Good morning. Look, I'm in my pyjamas, slippers. It's the morning of the 3rd day, and I've probably put in about maybe 3 hours total since starting. So what I was doing a little bit yesterday was just going through the verses, writing down where the licks happen in between the words, working out the phrasing of the singing, and then just starting to learn the words. Now, because I'm bad at learning words, I've just put down like some little boxes, and what I'm going to try and do is do the song 4 times a day. I'll just play a little bit so you can hear how it sounds, and then what I'll do is we'll do those like 7 kind of points, and then we'll get finished. Okay, we talked a little bit about arrangement. Let's just do a minute or 2 on what I've kind of added or taken away. So I just played the song basically as it is by the record. A few little things I've been adding. I've put a solo in between verses 4 and 5 because I want to just stretch the song out a little bit. So when you do that, there's no way. Oh yeah, and I do a little blues lick at the end of no way for me to get along. Okay, solo. Fancy bits in for the solo. I've made an ending for it. Now I love what are called 3-tag endings. So that's where you just play the last line 3 times and then you do some kind of lick to resolve. And you hear this a lot in old traditional jazz stuff. That's no way for me to get along. Well, that's no way for me to get along. On live gigs, it just kind of sets up that the song's definitely going to end. Okay then, so we've got the 7 points here. Let's get into these. Number 1, listen, listen, listen. And that's really important. Get the track in your mind. Get used to this sort of idiosyncrasies of it. It really helps. Number 2, you saw we very basically started with like a standard tune guitar, just trying to find the key center, maybe find where the tunings were. Just figuring little, very basic parts out with single sort of root notes. Number 3, you'll remember then that I was kind of just figuring out the very basic structure, playing along to the song and just working out where the chord changes come, starting to flesh it out. Number 4 is about just trying to get it right, So I was just playing the instrumental section by itself, no singing, and then later on I was looking at the lyrics and the words and the phrasing and trying to combine the two. Number 5 is about the words and learning the words, transcribing the words as well, and then it's just starting to think about what the arrangement of the song is and if you're going to stick with it and make it exactly like the record or make it your own. Number 6, it is about the arrangement. So now you're playing the song, you're learning the song, and then you might listen to other people's versions. I've found little licks that I sort of know. I've actually listened to a few of the versions. There's a guy called Vince Lee who we're doing, he's really great. We're doing a gig with him in about 3 months from now. And I've met him when me and Jack were touring. Sarah Rogo's version's really good. And I've got little ideas from all of them. And then number 7, it's about learning, isn't it? And so I've shown you those little boxes. 3 or 4 days for me is what I need to really get the lyrics to the point that I can't get them wrong. There we go. That is how you kind of transcribe and work out a song from scratch. The reason why I did this is because I used to be a little bit scared of it and doing this. And the more I did it, the more it kind of easier it got. The point of this video is to really show you that it's about trial and error. It's about finding your way. It's about getting things a little bit wrong before you get them right. And that is the process. And the more you do it, the quicker and easier it gets. And that there's so much benefit. You're not just learning to play music. You're developing musicality when you transcribe, because you really get into the headspace of the people, the different positions that they might use to get certain sounds. And as time goes on, you join the dots. You join the dots between all the great old blues musicians, but you also see what's individual about them. And I find it a massive benefit when I come to writing songs. When you write songs, you can just, there's this massive pool of styles and picking patterns and chord shapes and voicings that you can draw upon to write your own songs that have the traditional element, but they're like music for now and for the future. And transcribing really opens those doors. Thank you. Like, subscribe, comment. Find all our links in the description box. Look after yourself, and we'll see you again.